Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, y'all? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep, keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's show, we're going to talk about a fellow congressman who has since then been sentenced as very recently sentenced to 7 years in prison for basically lying on his resume. Okay. Also later on in the program, we're going to discuss some new things going on within student loans. So if you happen to have some student loans that you owe money for, not saying as far as a payment plan, but if you are behind on certain things, you might want to hurry up and get on with those payments. Also, in addition to that, we have more conversation in regards to the young Democrats that are coming out of the woodwork, challenging some incumbents. We're going to talk about that as well later on in the program. Let me see what else we have. We have a little time. I'll share about a former Republican congressman now running as a Democrat for governor in the state of Florida. So we're going to talk a lot here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So do me a favor, do not go anywhere. Stay with us for this hour. As always, my friends out there, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin program. Shout out to our friends over in the New Orleans area, WBOK 1230 AM. That's listen to us on their radio airwaves. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Also, shout out to our friends listening to us right now on WDJY 99.1 FM in the Metro Atlanta area. And then those who are watching us on the variety of streaming platforms like YouTube, Rumble, all right, Goatverse TV, which you can download the app right now. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. And those who listen to us on via podcast, you can listen to us. We're available on all major podcast platforms. So iHeart, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. There is no excuse. Long story short, that's what I'm saying. There is no excuse. You can tune into our program. We're available on all major platforms. In addition to that, do me a favor. I asked for a lot of favors, but I mean, hey, look, come on. Help a brother out. Can you help a brother out? Listen to you can follow us on our various of social media platforms that you can find the Arrington Gavin Show on, like Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as you can subscribe to our Substack page. We throw in a lot of great content on there. And just because we didn't never have the time to discuss it here on the show, I'm like, well, look, we're going to continue this conversation on our platform. So if you can do us a favor, follow us on those platforms as well. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, man, we got a lot of great stuff in store for you here on the show. A lot of stuff to discuss. It's a lot. It is a lot happening within our world. Yeah, we're gonna impact it here on this show. But before I move forward, let me go ahead and shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at the Dapper Luke Collection. That's right, at the Dapper Luke Collection. Introducing a new standard luxury menswear, the Dapper Luke collection, where tradition meets bold innovation, and every stitch tells a story of distinction, redefining custom suit excellence, one masterpiece at a time. Crafted for the connoisseur, worn by the refined, the Dapper Luke collection offers men's custom suits exclusively tailored, unmistakably you. By appointment only, step into an intimate private showroom experience, an exclusive journey where precision, craftsmanship, and personal expression reign supreme. The Dapper Luke collection, redefining custom suit excellence. I would like to thank the Dapper Luke collection for being a proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show. My dear friend Dapper Luke, the one and only veteran black owned businessman. He is awesome. He has made so many pieces for me in the past and continues to do it till this very day. He also created my oh so memorable suit that I happened to wear when I was about to tie the knot to the love of my life. Shout out to Shier Gavin. Shout out to my queen. Yeah, he made a custom piece for me that will forever be just iconic. I mean, beautiful color, beautiful, felt like a glove, and just very, very sharp. So be sure to support the Dapper Luke collection. For more information, you can visit the Dapper Luke collection by going to dapperlukecollection.com. All right, the dapperlukecollection.com. You can follow him on various social media platforms as well, or you can go ahead and check him out in his showroom locations. He has one located in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and also one in the Virginia Beach, Virginia area. But guess what? He can make house calls. All I have to do is contact him. This man, he travels the world because he has created suits for all of the top tier folks as and again, very, very sharp, very, very sophisticated. It's a great brand. All right. So, all right, my friends, look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more show here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goldverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because
become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
That's right, my friends. Rugged is the new smooth. All right, well, let's get it going with our tradition we love to do here on the show, like our fun fact of the day. So being that we just finished having are the NFL draft, 2025 NFL draft, I want to go ahead and share a quick fun fact with you that you probably were unfamiliar with. So check this out. Records has been broken in this past uh um NFL draft. So the lightest, all right, that's the first one. We actually have two very first I want to bring up here. So the first one is the lightest individual as far as weight wise had been drafted in the NFL draft. That's right. The gentleman's name is Mr. Tez Johnson. Mr. Tez Johnson. He was drafted by the Bucks as their new weapon. The reason why they consider him a new weapon because he is a wide receiver and kick returner, punt returner, coming out of Oregon Ducks. And you know what? As a kid, I've always was a fan of the Oregon Ducks. Why? Because they always had the decked out uniforms, right? They always had the best uniforms in college football, hands down. If y'all want to challenge that, please feel free. We debate this all day, but they always had the top tier uniforms. And as a kid, I'm like, man, why can't other universities, do they have as many different options the way Oregon Ducks do? But here's the kicker. So for one, they're in Oregon. What headquarters is in the state of Oregon? Nike. John Knight, the founder of Nike, is I don't know if he's an alumni. I might have to look back at it. I don't know if he's an alumni, but he has a lot of strong ties with University of Oregon. And so they always used to get the top tier, like gear, drip, you name it, they always were swagged out. But I go back to talking about Mr. Tez Johnson because 154 pounds is insane. He has beaten everybody in the league, including the water boy. You hear me? Last time I weighed 154 pounds. Now I'm 30 now. I was probably in 7th grade. I'm a thick boy. All right. Now we're probably at the same height. I doubted that he's even 6 feet tall, but he's 154 pounds. Now it could be a plus and a minus with that, right? The plus side could be he's very light and he's extremely fast. He's fast as lightning. That's why he can be a secret weapon, because there have been other players that has been, at his weight, maybe weighed a little more. I know 160 was like, whoa, wow, 160 pounds, and 170, but he is 154 pounds. Now, the scary part about it is he got guys that are like 245, 250, maybe even larger than that, running at him to basically destroy him. Okay. And so one big time highlighted tackle, that could be really dangerous. So I just pray that Tez, he plays it smart. He don't try to be, I'm tough. I can take a hit. No, please do not be stupid and try and be like, oh no, I can take a hit. I'm tough enough. Look, you've proved that you can compete in the highest level because you got drafted. Now it's time to protect your body. When it comes to big, huge Ray Lewis size, somebody come run at you full speed, man, you better juke them out or run out of bounds. That's what I would do. Shoot. I'm trying to keep a career. I'm trying to stay safe out here. I gotta keep collecting these checks. I'm not trying to be no highlight reel. No. So he's 154 pounds. So that's one. That's one I want to bring up. Now, the second individual I want to bring up is the world's heaviest. All right, the world's heaviest. Now his name is let's see here, Desmond Watson, defensive tackle. All right, defensive tackle out. Let me see where he is coming from. He is coming from where is he coming from? Oh, also the Bucks. So okay, the Bucks just want to continue to pick up a lot of guys. Now I think Desmond might be coming from the Gators. I know he's coming from a Florida school, if I'm not mistaken. But he is the heaviest ever drafted in the NFL, defensive tackle, weighing in at 464 pounds. Now, being that he's still young, what the NFL can do is put him on a great diet plan, get him more stronger, but he has to slender him down to at least I would say a good healthy weight for him, they probably gonna chisel him down to maybe for I'm gonna go with like 415, 425 at max. I mean, 464 is a lot. Maybe if they can bring him down to 435, but you have to realize like that is a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight. Now he can thin out and then get stronger because you can build on muscle weight, and he probably already has that. But when I'm looking, he got a lot of extra weight too. He don't miss any meals. All right, but we just we gotta protect our players out there. But 464 pounds, and then you have one guy weighing in at 154 pounds. So if Mr. Desmond Watson tries to go after Tez Johnson, who gonna win that battle? All right, who is gonna win that battle, y'all? Let's move it on from this one now. Normally I do one or the other. I do a Black Excellence Report or I do a fun fact. But today I want to also include a fun fact that I thought was very interesting and very inspiring. Because being that we're talking about, it's funny. I feel like it's this theme here. We're talking about weight, so let's go ahead and move it on to this Black Excellence Report of this very young lady. And I feel like we're on like on an ongoing cycle here because I think previous show I've spoken about a gentleman who received his high school diploma at the age of 101 years old, which was like, wow, if I was 100, I would not want to attempt to do that. But I want to showcase this lovely lady here because what she did, she chose to lose a lot of weight in her 70s. Now she's 86 right now, but she explains how she lost 120 pounds in her 70s. So let me go ahead and play this clip for you, and hopefully you can feel inspired by this lady's story. So let me go ahead and play the soundbite for you.
Even as a kid in Mississippi, I was always the fattest kid in the class. I got teased a lot. I didn't know how to stop eating fried chicken, bacon and eggs, desserts like cakes and pies.
For 86-year-old Jessica Slaughter, food choices have changed a lot since she was picked on by her classmates.
Salads, veggies, oranges, peppers, celery.
That's one of the healthiest refrigerators I've ever seen. Before, how she began transforming her body and her lifestyle to lose 120 pounds when she was in her 70s. Losing weight is hard. Being overweight is hard. Jessica chose the first hard over the second.
Yeah.
What were you wearing when you were at your largest?
22. I was wearing size 22. For size 22. And it was getting tight.
And now you are.
Today I wear a 4.
Jessica eliminated meat and became a vegan.
How inspiring is that story, by the way? I didn't want to continue on that. I was having some connection issues with that clip, but the lady shared that, okay, at one level I had my waist was a 22. All right. She says now my waist is a 4. She did all that in her 70s. Now I brought that up because I've caught on to see a lot of, I think, people at a certain age do not think they can, try to stay active or attempt to eat certain meals because, and look, y'all older generation, y'all can be mad at me if you want to, but it's the truth. Y'all act like because I made it this far in age, I can eat whatever the hell I want to. It don't always be like that. Now, I've had folks in my own family that has lived a long, beautiful life. Some of them have gotten away with eating certain foods, eating the way they want, but some folks hasn't, right? At the end of the day, it's going to sneak up you one way or the other. So you can be like, I can eat whatever I want. I've eaten like this all my life. No issues whatsoever. Yada, 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 this and that and the other. No. Look, if the Lord bless you with a beautiful body to be in, take care of your body. Take care of your temple. Why is it that if we buy a car, a brand new car, we go above and beyond to make sure that car is taken care of, right? We make sure We got full coverage over this whole vehicle. We make sure that we continue to push this vehicle. We're going to save this vehicle. When it's in the shop and they say, I don't know if it's going to make it. No, we have to save the vehicle. We do so much for a material item rather than doing it for our own health. All right. Y'all need to put that time, that effort, that money into yourself, into your physical and mental health. Y'all, we have fitness centers that literally saying, hey, look, to be a member here, if you want to join this gym, it's $10 a month. You have your local city rec centers that some of them might charge you a max of $35 a year. Some of them, if you're a senior citizen, most senior citizens, you get all the discounts. So some of them might be either a free membership, basically, as long as you're a resident of your city, or it might be a smaller fee to pay on a yearly basis. Stop using that as an excuse. You can easily, if you have stairs, walk up and down the stairs, or just get up. You got to stay moving. You got to stay mobile. Folks, we have to start taking care of ourselves. All right? We have to start taking care of ourselves. There's no excuses whatsoever anymore when it comes to taking care of ourselves. All right, y'all? All right. I do that because I care. I'm not trying to bash y'all. I'm not trying to, fuss everybody out. Look, I gotta take care of my own self. I'm not the best when it comes to eating the right foods or exercise on a regular, because I don't. I used to when I was in college. Okay. I had all the time in the world when I was in college. But now I wrestle with time management. I wrestle with eating the right foods and not just getting food because it tastes good, because all food that tastes good is never the healthiest for us. All right. That's one thing I will give props to the Trump administration. I haven't talked about it here prior, but with RFK, I know a lot of folks really don't care for RFK. They're like, oh, that was crazy. But look, I give him credit for trying to really dig deep on taking care of the world health wise, right? Obesity rate. We have a lot of businesses and companies, snacks with artificial food coming. We gotta end this. We gotta end that. I give him credit for taking aim and trying to again prevent this from even being sold on shelves. All right, so I give him credit for that, because we do have to continue to take care of our health epidemic within the area. And when it comes to these crappy snacks, and that's not good for us. Yeah, it tastes good, but it's awful for us. And artificial this, artificial that. We gotta do better. We have to do better. Okay, let me go ahead and move it on to our first story. Let's see here. What are we gonna start first? Let's start with this. Let's start with this story in regards to government on collecting student loan debt. I'm sorry, so I think it's student loan debt default. Let me see where I can find. Okay, here we go. Default student loan payments sent to collections. That's what I want to bring up. So recently, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt spoke on defaulted student loan payments being sent to collections. And she quotes, well, actually, let me see if I can play the soundbite for you before I get going talking about the story. But let me go ahead and find that soundbite for you all. And this is reported by the Associated Press right here. While I'm getting that soundbite for you, let me go ahead and read this to you in context. It says here that student loans in default to be referred to debt collections. Education Department says the Education Department will begin collections on student loans that are in default, including garnishing of wages for potentially millions of borrowers. Now, currently, roughly 5.3 million borrowers are in default on their federal student loans. Now, the Trump administration announcement marks an end to a period of leniency that began during the COVID-19 pandemic, which in all honesty, okay, we should not have to be talking about the COVID-19 pandemic saying, oh, well, we're still very lean because of what, and I get it. There's still a lot of folks who are still having effects from the COVID-19, which that was in 2020, and then it extended until most of 2021. But we're we're in 2025. We're midway in 2025. I think by now we should see, and it's a bit odd. Like we're still hearing about effects of COVID. Like, I have post-COVID, I have this, I have that, I still have COVID. I said it's interesting. I will say it is interesting. No federal student loans have been referred for collections since March of 2020. Now, including those in default under President Joe Biden, the Education Department tried multiple times to give broader forgiveness of student loans, only to be stopped by courts. Now, let me go ahead and share this soundbite from the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, and we can continue on this convo after on the other end.
In other news, the Trump administration has announced we will put an end to Joe Biden's illegal student loan bailout attempts. No student loan has been referred to collection since March of 2020. That comes to an end. On May 5th, the Department of Education will resume involuntary collections for borrowers with defaulted federal student loans. The student loan portfolio controlled by the federal government is nearly $1.6 trillion, but fewer than 4 out of 10 borrowers are in repayment. This is unsustainable, unfair, and a huge liability for American taxpayers. Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans? The Trump administration will never force taxpayers to pay student loan debts that don't belong to them. Student loan borrowers need clarity, and we're finally giving it to them. Borrowers will now be clearly expected to repay their loans, and those who default on their loan obligations will face involuntary collections. The government can and will collect defaulted federal student loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages.
So, okay, let me first share why this is a good thing. I'll give you the good news first, and I'll give you the bad news last. So, okay, good news wise, okay, encourages responsibility, right? And enforces the idea of students. The student loans are legal obligations. Referring them to collections can push borrowers to take repayment seriously and avoid default. That's one. Now, second is it protects federal resources. Now, when borrowers don't repay loans, taxpayers ultimately foot the bill. Collection efforts can help recover some of the money, now easing the burdens on the federal budget. Now, third, it creates pressures to engage. Some borrowers ignore repayment options, right? Which is a bad thing. You shouldn't ignore the payment options. The threat on reality of collections may force them to respond, which could lead to rehabilitation plans or consolidation to get back on track. Now, that's why this could be a good solution. Now, the reason why this is also a bad thing is because this worsens financial hardship. It worsens financial hardship. Now, collection agencies can add fees, garnish wages, and damage credit scores, all right, making it harder for borrowers to recover financially, especially those already struggling. One thing we know about colleges and universities is that this crap is expensive as yeah. All right, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard not to say the word, but it really does. It's a struggle. Second thing is it disproportionately affects low income borrowers. Defaults is more common among borrowers from disadvantaged backgrounds. Now, sending them to collections can perpetrate cycles of poverty and financial instability. All right. 3, this fails to address root problems. Everything that occurs here, it does not help the root cause of why this is a massive issue in our world. Default often results from unaffordable payments, lack of guidance, or complex repayment systems. Collections don't solve those problems. They just penalize the symptoms. And that is very true. Folks, when it comes to colleges and universities, they continue to push out all of these certain financial plans, this and the other, to households or to students that don't come from much. All right. And then they give them this huge dream to say, well, oh, you'll be ready to pay for it, because it's a sales game. It really is a sales game, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying don't go to school. It's very important to have higher education, and universities do a great job when it comes to taking care of their students. But I feel like they need to be more realistic. Give them the truth, give them the authentic truth when it comes to, okay, once you're out here, this is not all easy. You're not gonna, I mean, I can't tell you how many folks I know that are college graduates with their masters, with their doctors. Ask me, do they actually work within their degrees? The job that they do for a career, is it really in their industry that they work in right now? Come on now. Lastly, I want to say is potential for abuse. Now, debt collections agencies have a history of aggressive and unethical tactics involving them can lead to harassment or misinformation, worsening borrower situations. So, in all honesty, this is more bad than good. But hey, the Trump administration is doing a hell of a job adding more issues right now within this within this administration, the second administration, I guess, the second Trump administration. So it's a lot. But y'all, let me go ahead. I'm gonna take a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. Once again, you are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Jazera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at jazeranlearninginstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Welcome back. Let's get it going with our next story that we would love to share with you. Let's talk about former congressman, disgraced congressman, by the way, George Santos. All right, I don't know if that name rings a bell for you guys, but George Santos was at the time an elected official, an elected elected official out of, I believe, New York. Don't get me quoting which district he came from, but he was an elected official. This is literally a case of you lied on your whole resume to, like, you lied about everything. Like, there was absolutely nothing that was true in your resume. You said you did this and you didn't do that. You did this. It's insane. And so he was in at least in my lifetime, one of the first folks expelled from office. He didn't resign. He didn't lose a race or an election. They basically kicked his ass out. Republican Party couldn't stand him. Democratic Party couldn't stand him. He made this whole thing into a joke, right? Now, let me read you a little bit about this before I play the soundbite. Well, actually, let me play the soundbite for you, and then I'll read it in context. So let me go ahead and share this clip for you real quick.
Sanders disgraced former New York Congressman George Santos has been sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. Federal prosecutors urged the judge to hand down a heavy sentence because of Santos's, quote, unparalleled crimes. Santos pleaded guilty in August to identity theft and wire fraud charges. At the time, he agreed to pay nearly $600,000 in restitution and forfeiture. The judge ordered Santos to surrender by July the 25th. Sanders disgraced.
When I tell you, this brother here sentenced to 87 months to be exact in prison in a federal fraud case. So it says here that former Republican Congressman George Santos had been sentenced for the lengthy period which I told you for wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Now, the 36-year-old pleaded guilty to federal charges in New York court. Prosecutors had asked for 87 months in prison, the sentence Santos ultimately received, while Santos' attorneys have requested he serve 2 years, the minimum sentence for aggravating identity theft. Now, the sentence marks the final step in the downfall of the novice New York politician who was expelled from Congress after the fraud case alleged that he lied about his background and misused campaign funds to finance his lifestyle. All right. Now, that lifestyle included, when I tell you, his lifestyle included so much, let me see if it names up here. Everything but the kitchen sink. Like it was everything. Like you're like, wow, really, do you? And you thought you could get away with this? Give me a break. Santos reportedly apologized for his actions while crying in court. Of course, they get the boo-hoo and crying, saying, "I cannot rewrite the past, but I can control the road ahead." So the road ahead for him was already looking not bright. Most folks said, well, the road ahead is looking really bright for you. I'm sorry, it was on opposite day for this guy. He decided to start a podcast. I believe it's called like Pants on Fire with George Santos, some crappy, corny, whatever. And it was dumb. It was dumb. He easily showed that he wanted to use this platform to become a celebrity. That's all he wanted to do. He was on some platform where you basically do FaceTimes with fans. I'm forgetting the Cameo, right? Cameo. Charge the off the wall amount, just like Matt Gaetz. It was all a joke to him. It was never serious. There was nothing serious about this man. There was nothing serious about him running for office. It all was a part of the common game of crooked politicians that are here to benefit their own and to achieve their own personal gain rather than what is right. Okay. It says here judges overseeing the case appeared unconvinced. Quotes, "You got elected with your words, most of which were lies." Santos, it says he will report in July of 2025. The 25th of July of this year. The federal government alleged that Santos laundered campaign funds to pay for his personal expenses, illegally claimed unemployment benefits while he was employed, and lied to the FEC, the Federal Election Commission. Prosecutors said he charged more than $44,000 to his campaign over a period of months using credit cards belonging to contributors who were unaware they were being defrauded. Now, in the court of last year, Santos admitted to the theft and applying for unemployment benefits that he was not entitled to receive. Now, in addition to that, he has also acknowledged making false statements and omissions on financial statements submitted to the House Ethics Committee and the FEC. Former lawmaker has been ordered to pay at least $374,000 in restitution. It should be more than that, in my opinion. He has been attempting to raise money, as I mentioned, on Cameo, the platform where people can purchase personalized videos from celebrities. A joke. Santos' downfall obviously began after the New York Times in 2022 published an investigation revealing the freshman congressman had lied about his CV, including having a university degree and working for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. All he did was lie. Kind of reminds me of another guy that's sitting up in the U.S. Capitol. Can y'all take any guess? All right. From there, the lies continued to pile up, including allegations that he stole money from a fundraiser for for a dying dog, and that he lied about his mother surviving the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Shortly after, local and federal officials began to investigate, and from there, he eventually was charged with 23 felony crimes, and in 2023 he became the first member of Congress, the first member of Congress to be expelled in more than 20 years, only the sixth in history. Now, my guess is there any comeback in the future for this man? Is there any political comeback? You think so, guys? No? Yes? Maybe so? Well, I can answer that for you real quick. In my opinion, hell no. There is no comeback. There's no political comeback. Now, it might be just a celebrity comeback, because let's be honest, you can do the stupidest things and still have a spot. He might be on Dance with Stars after his sentence is over. He might be on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. He gonna be on something that involves quote unquote celebrity. So we will see. As I digress from this, let's go on and talk about our next story in regards to child support. All right. So I don't know if you heard about this, but Texas bill recently had announced that it would allow child support to begin from conception. Now, when I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So, let's see here. So this reported by Fox 26 in Houston says here that the father could be ordered to pay retroactive child support from the moment of conception under the bill that's passed recently in the Texas State Senate. Now, question they brings up is, how does support currently work? Now, the backstory is, now currently in Texas, the child support doesn't take effect until the baby is born, which is kind of common, right? Now, retroactive child support is typically limited to 4 years back from the time of filing, unless there is evidence that the man knew or should have known he was the father and tried to avoid supporting the child. Now, here's my thing. No one really knows. Now, I mean, I'll take this. I feel like this is for those who are, because child support is always involved when the man and woman, the father and mom, is not together, not an item. So for those who are, having a fun, all that stuff, like, for one, how do they know? How do they know exactly when it's like, okay, how do they backtrack? Well, really, we gonna start this all the way back. Like, come on now. Like, this is an interesting case. Now, I feel as though this is all coming down to just being accountable for those, because it says here, and I looked this up, conception happens in multiple things. Ovulation, when a woman releases an egg, typically about 14 days before her next period. Now, fertilization, if a sperm meets the egg, again, in parentheses, usually within 24 hours of ovulation, fertilization can occur. This is the moment of conception. Now, third is implementation. About 6 to 10 days later, the fertilized egg attaches to the uterine lining. That's when pregnancy officially begins in medical terms. Now, obviously, couples could know, obviously, by ovulation tracking, pregnancy tests, ultrasound, ultrasound dates. Now, see, the potential benefits of this is financial support during pregnancy. Now, obviously, pregnancies are not cheap. You got the classes, you got this, you got that, you got the time off from work because you gotta do certain ultrasounds, this and the other. So hospital bills, visits to galore. That's a lot. Now, this also promotes shared responsibility amongst the two parents, legal recognition of parental needs. Now, the drawbacks this has been receiving is determining conception dates. As I mentioned before, how do you know? How do you know when this is actually occurring? Also, paternity establishment, right? Before child support can be enforced, paternity must be legally established. The process can be complex, especially if the father is unaware of the pregnancy or disputes the paternity. Now, financial impact on the fathers, legal and ethic debates. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But now, in conclusion, Texas SB 942 seeks to address the financial responsibilities of both parents from the early stages of the child's development. Now, while it offers potential benefits in supporting expectant mothers and promoting shared parental responsibility, it also presents challenges related to paternity establishments, financial implications, and legal interpretations. As the bill progresses through the legislative process, these factors will likely be central to ongoing discussions and debates. So again, this is a very interesting story. Of course, it's occurring in Texas. Texas is always very known to change up the whole system, you know what I mean? And so it's interesting. We got some more convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We're gonna take another break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, welcome back, people. Welcome back. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. All right, so next up, I want to talk about this. Young Democrats are coming in hot, and what I mean by that is, you remember a while back when I was talking about what's the gentleman's name? David Hogue, right? Vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. So he made headlines because he had said, "Look, we have $20 million." $20 million, and I want to invest it in our upcoming Democratic Challengers. I want to invest it in the challengers, not the incumbents. I want to invest in the challengers. I totally agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. The one thing that has been hurting, and this really hurts on both sides of the aisle, but right now it's hurting the Democrats because the Democrats are the party that's really trying to rebuild and recover, is your old same old voices and leadership in the Democratic Party. You cannot continue to hold on to power if you've been in office since 80 something or early 90s. No, you can't. I'm sorry. There needs to be term limits in Congress and Senate. If you have been there since the beginning of time, then I'm sorry, you're part of the problem. You cannot continue to people saying, I fought for this and I've done this and I've done that. Well, guess what? As a whole, it hasn't helped. Now, I can't say if it helped you within your state, but guess what? If it makes such an impact in your state, it definitely it gets passed on to Congress to broaden the spectrum that can actually help out the all 50 states within the United States. One thing that I respect about Hogue is now, yeah, Hogue is young. He's a baby. He's 25 years old. 25 years old. And you have folks that are not taking him serious. I've mentioned before, longtime Democratic strategist James Carville does not like him at all whatsoever. But at the end of the day, James Carville has not really ran a campaign since, let me guess, 92, the Clinton years. All right. So yeah, he got a great podcast. He's viral. He says what he wants to say. He's very bold and honest. But realistically, guess what? His tactics probably won't help if he was in charge of a campaign. Hogue is like, look, I'm trying to tell you something. We have the script, we have the messaging, because I've said it many times. The strategy sucks, right? The strategy sucks. The messaging, they like on the messaging, but a lot of Democratic in leadership will say our messaging is there. You had some leaders that will turn a blind eye and blame the media, which is, I think, is hilarious, very hypocrisy, very hypocritical of them, because this whole time, you criticize folks on the right saying they're blaming the media. Y'all doing y'all job, and now it's the other way around. Well, it's y'all problem. The reason why our popularity is being depleted and dropped down all the way to the ground. No, it's not. Give me a break. Give me a break. What it is like David Hoke said. He said, "Look, we have the scripts, but we kind of have bad actors." Oh, that pissed off a lot of people. Let me read you this report about ABC News. It says here that young Democratic primary challengers seek to oust longtime House members, but they say it's not about age. They're saying that to be nice. Oh, it's about age. Come on now. You got geriatric, freaking old folks in office, man, just with bad hips, bad backs, fumbling and mumbling. Nah, come on now. It is about age. It says here, as the Democratic Party takes stock of the first 100 days of the Trump administration and the upcoming 2026 midterm elections, where the party aims to take back control of the U.S. House of Representatives, a slate of political newcomers are challenging longtime incumbents and calling for generational change within the party. Now, the challenges come aimed it comes amid a broader debate among Democrats over how to respond to the Trump administration and the reach voters after its bruising losses in 2024, and if the party needs younger leaders to revitalize it, or whether Democrats should avoid the risk of infighting. Now, in addition to this, the debate was supercharged in recent weeks when leaders We Deserve, a political organization led by Democratic National Vice Chairman David Hogue, the Parkland shooting survivor and gun control activist, announced that it will spend $20 million to help elect younger leaders, including primary challengers to House Democrats who are in safe Democratic seats, which I think right then and there, they feel as though that's when the Democrats kind of split. They're like saying, hold up, why are you challenging me if there's a large guarantee that I will win that seat? Like, so in my home state of Virginia, we have a gentleman, shout out to Congressman Bobby Scott. I had the opportunity to meet him multiple times. I've sat at tables with him. Really nice guy, very intelligent, but in my opinion, he should be looking for his, what's the word I'm looking for? His successor. He needs to start looking for it because he's been in office since 93, right? The district that he covers, ain't nobody gonna vote him out if he purposely wanted to stay in. He continues to win, no matter what. That's what he continues to do. All right. You have incumbents saying, okay, if I have this district, if there's 99% guarantee that I will win, why are you trying to kick me out? Here's the thing, because when it comes to passing certain laws, there has been divide amongst the parties, because you got your establishment that is really focused on their tactics and not on, in my opinion, more progressive moving forward strategies. That's just in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm reading a quote here. It says here, this is recorded from Tamia Booker, a veteran Democratic strategist, says, given the loss that we had last cycle, a lot of people have expressed their frustration with our leadership. I think that we're seeing now in the ramification of that, where people are deciding to run themselves because they believe they that they're more effective leaders. Look, we hear all the time. What's the gentleman's name? Stephen A. Smith, right? And I've shared. He loves the publicity, and he loves the attention, all that good stuff. But he's like saying, look, if it's like this, I know I got a chance. I'm gonna consider it because it's just not looking right right now for the party. And he's a registered independent, but I feel as though he would, if he had to run, he would run as a Democrat more than a Republican. I'll be honest on that one. As a fellow independent, trust me, I know what his, really what he leaned towards. Let's see here. You have one gentleman, Jake Rakov, I believe I pronounced that right. Rakov, 37 years old, is a primary challenger, taking one of the former bosses, Representative Brad Sherman, a Democrat who represents California's 32nd district. I quote here, he says, "I'm running because we do need a new generation of Democrats to step up if we want anything to change in Washington. We cannot keep sending the same both decade after decade and expecting things to change." Share that to ABC News. He worked as a deputy communication director in 2017, and since then worked in Los Angeles politics and some campaigns. Let's see. He slammed ineffective, adding, he likes to brag about seniority. He has been passed over for leadership positions on his committee. Seniority doesn't matter if no one is willing to work with you. Very true. Let me go ahead and move forward to I want to check out some of the other folks who are running if I can. I'm looking at my time. Okay, in Indiana 7th Congressional District, George Hornetto, a 34-year-old alum of the Obama administration and Pete Hegseth's 2020 presidential campaign, is challenging incumbent Democrat Representative Andre Carson. Alleges that Carson, who's 50 years old, who was the first elected to the House in 2008, has not delivered for the district. That's what he challenged. He said, "I'm running because my community here in Indianapolis is still waiting for everything from safer streets to affordable housing to really just real leadership." I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm going to continue this because on the next program, because I'm looking at my time, I'm running a little short, but in all honesty, y'all, there needs to be some changes. There needs to be some changes. There are so many. Now, what I like about this is because in reality, I know there's a lot of young people that might not be that involved in politics or not, don't really read up on politics, stuff like that. But it's important, right? I love seeing this group of young voters out here, young people that's saying, look, I'm very educated, but I will say, now this came from a friend of mine who is a former politician. He said there is a difference from having the passion about politics and also becoming a politician, right? Being in charge of leading a city, a state, a country. There is a difference from passion to actually being in that position, from being experienced in it, having the knowledge in it. So there are two different things. So hopefully these guys have both and not just the passion, because the passion is where you get out of a campaign manager or out of a just a campaign worker. But when it comes to actually running things, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game, my friends. Well, look here. We're gonna end it off here. I hope y'all had a wonderful time here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, I will see you next time. Peace and blessings. Talk to you soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.